Hi, I just wanted to talk a little bit, tap into the subject of attachments. Attachments to jobs, money, materialism, monetary things. They can really block us in our growth and our evolving, into our authenticity and who we truly are. Jealousy, envy, all kinds of emotions that some are healthy. I mean, they're all part of us, but it's how you deal with them. Anger as well. You can be angry that somebody did an injustice, but to hold on to it and let it fester and stew and become bigger than the problem, there's an issue with that, and it will affect your happiness. It'll affect your quality of life. But attachments to relationships, money, jobs, like I said, materialism, all those things, and it doesn't mean you can't have them and enjoy them. They're all gifts meant to be lived and shared and enjoyed. But if you have an attachment to something, that means, if you were to lose it tomorrow and it were to be gone, would you be devastated? If the answer is yes, well, then you have an attachment to that. And I know it doesn't sound easy. It's an acquired wisdom, obviously. We grow and we change and we go through stuff, and we lose something and we cry and we mourn and grieve. And I'm not saying grieving or mourning the loss of a person is wrong. I'm not saying that. That's normal. I guess what I'm saying is, like, unhealthy attachments to things that, if we know we let go of them, our life will be better and evolve. And again, like letting go of that cinder block, trying to swim. And sometimes let go. If we do, the hardest part is that leap of faith of letting go of something that we love. And usually, if it's meant to be, and there's a reason why, maybe we have to let go, so that maybe it could be a relationship that's toxic, or a destructive behavior or habit or addiction that a person has, will definitely interfere with a relationship or marriage. It doesn't even have to be just a marriage. Friendships have broken up. Family members have never spoken again because of addiction issues with drugs or alcohol, or even mental illness can be a wedge between a healthy dynamic in a relationship. And it doesn't mean that the person carrying the addiction or that has mental is to be judged or persecuted or anything like that. It's just that to live in a cohabitating relationship with them, it's very, very difficult, because it will definitely poison you. Some people can grow through it. Others do better by letting it go. And if it comes back to you, it's meant to be, basically. Just, what they say, let it go. If it comes back, it's meant to be. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. But the truth is that as you journey along through this life, you want to go where your life is. If you're dying in a situation, that's not healthy. If the other person has an addiction and they're killing themselves physically, that's not healthy either. But if your attachment to them is taking you down too, then that needs to be severed. The energy, the emotional attachment, because you can love without attachment. I know it sounds silly and kind of contradictory, but you can really, really, really love someone, but let them go and just wish them the best. It doesn't mean you may not see them from time to time, or see them on a regular basis, or see them once every year or whatever, but when you do, you let them go, you wish them well. Their path is going in a totally different directions. People outgrow each other. People outgrow, if you've ever noticed, like, you might have a friendship or something, and then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you could be close to somebody for 20 years. I mean, just like that, And then all of a sudden, I don't know, you just go your separate ways. And it's nobody's fault, and nobody needs to be angry, or why'd they do that, or, you can analyze it. Sometimes people just outgrow each other. And when the energies in relationships, the dynamics are so contrast that, one's on one level, one's on another, and it's not the same. It just, the relationship changes, and people let go and they move on. And then other people come into our lives. Maybe people more, within our frequency or our vibration of where we're at in our growth, because, some people really can grow fast. Some people never grow. They just kind of stay where they are because they hold on to things. They hold on to things that are unhealthy. And usually if you want to evolve and grow and really change your perspective on life and get a new, just like this adventurous spirit, like, oh wow, where am I going next? Instead of like, oh no, I had to let go of that. No, am I so sad? The choice is yours. Do it. Stay if you want to stay. Go if you want to go. Do what's right for you. It's in your gut. It's in your core. You'll know when it's a place that you're not supposed to be because it doesn't feel right anymore. And when you let go of that and you just kind of go, wow, the possibility, and just, I can't even explain it. Like the aura, your sense of well-being, everything just shifts. It just shifts in such an amazing direction and uplifting and oh wow, it's just, and then it's like, oh wow, gee, I feel, and you don't need to feel guilty if you have to leave somebody who's in an addiction and stuff, and it's like, oh well, I gotta take care of them and they need me, and well, they don't need you too bad. If they did, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing, because what they're doing, is quite about them. Following the path of destruction is a choice at the beginning. Then it becomes an addiction and it seems like they have no choice. But I've seen people that really have the desire to change and come out of addiction, come out of it. But you gotta want them. And you can't be a caretaker for somebody who doesn't want help or doesn't want a better life, or you can't do that for them, and you can't let it pull you down either. So comes back to what I said before, is if you have a choice for a good life, take it. If you need to leave somebody behind, it's sad, yeah, for a little bit. But then once you start reaping the rewards of your new growth and the doors that open up, you're going to say, wow, that wasn't that bad. And of course, as we go through life, if we've had to do that a few times, and then we get to situations and we start outgrowing each other again, because that saying, some people are here for a reason, some for a season, some for a lifetime. Some are there. They come into our lives to teach us lessons, and that even could be toxic relationships, but they're not meant to hold on to, for a lifetime. Usually a toxic relationship comes in to teach us something, and then we thank them and we move on. But again, we still love them and wish them well. You don't have to hate somebody. You don't have to get revenge. You don't have to be vindictive. Not if you're true to yourself, you won't, because you'll just be hurting yourself by trying to hurt anybody else. That's just the way it works, whether anybody knows it or not. So, yeah, I just wanted to tap into that a little bit today about attachments and just loving someone. And I've been in situations, I've lived it, trust me. And I was in a relationship, a marriage, just things that I had to let go of. And then, when we divorced, and then another woman came into an ex-girlfriend, and I was like, oh, part of me was jealous. Well, not jealous, I mean hurt, because it's like, he was my love. But he also had another love before me. And I mean a love, I don't mean just a relationship or a girlfriend. I mean someone that he had a deep, deep, deep connection with. But sometimes we have to let things go. But I don't know how I found it. I would say by the grace of God, I would find these words or thoughts would come to me like, well, he has a right to be happy. So if that means I need to let him go because I can't go down the path he's going, that's not meant for me. My path is different. It didn't make him a bad person. It didn't make her a bad person. I just had to say, okay, if you really, really love somebody and care about somebody, it's more about seeing them happy, even if that means they go away from you. or you have to go away from them. The love does not stop. It's still there. It will always be there. It will be there even like he's passed now. There's still love. I mean, I still love him so much. But I'm in a totally different place now. And that was the past. Do I have any regrets? No. I grew leaps and bounds through that. But letting go of a dead weight, which I don't mean him, but I mean the relationship, was just, I can't even, it was just an awakening and an uplifting and I just can't explain it. You'd have to live through it. I'm not saying go leave your husband or wife to experience it, because it doesn't work that way. It depends on the dynamic of the relationship and the purpose of the relationship. Whether, like I said, it doesn't even have to be a marriage, it could be a friendship. That all of a sudden it's like, just things are toxic and poison. And when I say toxic, I mean like, it's really affecting you on a mental level. Your mental well-being, and then it becomes physical well-being. You know, that stuff can really affect us. We can get physically ill from being in a mentally unstable place that we don't need to go. Let go. It doesn't mean you're not loyal. If you have to, that doesn't mean that at all. You can be loyal to somebody by letting them go. You can be loyal to yourself by letting someone go. Again, until somebody goes through it, they don't know. And that's why a lot of us are here on YouTube trying to share our experiences, because there are people that are going through things and they're kind of maybe stuck, but also, like I said about the being in the caves, or the whatever I called them. I can't remember what I called them. The places, you know, the caves down underground and being up on a mountaintop. When you're up on a mountaintop, you look around, it's like, oh wow, I can see 20 miles away. If you're in Vegas and the air, there's no humidity. Depth perception is a lot. Something can be further away and it's just as clear as a bell. It looks like you can reach out and touch it. And then you get in some of the places with denser, you know, air and humidity, and you don't see that far as clear. You don't see as clear, something quite a ways away. But anyway, it's just a perspective of what we're about, where we're going, why we're here. And it's a discovery. It's not like in black and white or any colors or whatever, gray. It just, everything is here today. This is where I'm at. And it isn't always about finding a direction. I've made it difficult in my life. It's like, I don't know which way to go. I don't know what to do. They call it discernment. And now I'm just kind of at a place, but I'm very lucky because of the way I live. A very simple life. I don't own much. I don't have much. But I have a very, very nice home, and I have the things that I need, and I'm very blessed. But I gotta tell you, the less you have, the less you worry about losing things. Obviously, I've lost things. Trust me. I've lost a few homes, and I've lost some dogs. I always raised dogs, and I've had to let dogs go because I got into a place where I just needed to take all my energy and time and put it into myself and my daughter and take care of us, because the dogs just became extra. I loved them, and at one time, you know, they nurtured me and they filled me up, and then when I got to a point where I was really going down and having a difficult time, I just didn't have the energy for the extra. It's like I had to let them go. Did I love them? Oh, sure I did. But I found really, really good homes for them. That was back when I raised the setters and when I raised the labs. And I know it sounds like a cycle, but I don't think it's anything that I did wrong. As a matter of fact, I think it's something I did right. Because at that point you have to say, well, gee, I can't leave because of them. Well, you know what? If they find new homes, and you just have to give them up. And that's good for them. It's like, well, if I can't take care of them the way, and I'm not saying they were neglected or anything, but it just became too much for me. but they were dispersed and put into single homes as only pets, and it was easier for me. And then each dog had an amazing life with an amazing home, and treated very well. I mean, they were treated well at our house too, but it was different. Just to have be a one dog in a family is different than the dynamics in a home with 6 or 7 dogs is different. They all got along and everybody got taken care of, but and there was a lot of structure, so everything was good. But for them to just go to another home and have that many dogs, or somebody that didn't deal with them the way I did, it could have been total chaos and havoc, But anyways, so yeah, sometimes you just have to let things go, and I would always come to this point of, I gotta let them go because it'll be best for them too, and it was. I had to take myself kind of out of the picture about what I wanted and what I wanted to hold on to, because it wasn't going to help me. So yeah, that's just a little bit about attachments, and just trying to realize that each person, even if it's a partner, they should have the freedom to be themselves. Now, I know I'm not talking like addictions and stuff like that. I'm not saying you should be in a marriage and allow them, and some people do it, but to just let them do their things, because if you're evolving in a higher vibration, those things are going to affect you very, very, very much, and you're going to find that you cannot tolerate being around it anymore. So you can wish them well, and I'm not saying it's easy, but wish them well, and you go your separate ways, and then down the road you'll look, and sometimes love will be enough that they will change, because for themselves, but because they want you in their life. And if they don't, well, guess what? That's their choice. That's not up to you. You are not in control of another human being. You're not here to save anybody. We can help each other, but the rescuing and the saving, and that's all conditioning of past whatever, the way we were raised, and the caretaker, the caregiver. And I'm not saying you can't take care of anybody or be a caregiver, but I'm saying don't sacrifice your own soul and spirit to do it, because God will provide to have someone to take care of them. Trust me. And sometimes we need to just get out of the way in situations, and then somebody moves in, and so that's where the point where you shouldn't be jealous of that. God is providing someone to help them that isn't you, that they don't have that toxic dynamic or dysfunction and codependency. So don't be jealous if you have to leave somebody behind and then they find somebody new. That's good, because they have someone to help them. And it could be that it will end up that they end up losing that person too because of the way they are, but maybe it could be 2 peas in a pod. If they're both addicts or alcoholics or have issues, then maybe they're perfect for each other. But remember, lessons, reasons, seasons, and lifetimes. Very important to remember, because there will come times where you will be living that reality, and you'll be able to say, well, and again, take yourself out of the picture. And if you would tell a friend, do this is what I would do, then do it. If that's the situation you're in, the advice you would give someone else, and that's your spirit telling you, giving you guidance, your angels, that's what that is. So anyway, I thank you for listening, and take care, and love you. Bye.